Okay, last section in chapter 6 is where you're going to graph systems of linear inequalities. So we already practiced where you're graphing one of them, so now you're just going to graph two of them together. So I would go ahead and start the first one. So x is less than 2 means I would be at 2 on the x-axis. I would have a dashed line, and then since it's less than, I would shade everything to the left. Now you're going to want to find the intersection of the shaded regions, so you're not going to want to darken that in quite yet, so I'm going to use different colors, which you might want to as well, so that you can find the intersection. So now I'm going to go ahead and graph the other one. So this is in slope-intercept, so I put a point at 4 on the y-axis. My slope is going down 1 and over 1. It's going to be a solid line going through there. Since this is a greater than symbol, I'm going to shade everything above that line. Then I find where my two colors overlap. Noticing that my two colors are in this region right here, so now I would take my pencil and I would darken in from each line. So I would go from the solid line all the way over to my dashed line there. Okay, let's take a look at another one. Here we have y is greater than or equal to 2. So I would put a point at 2. It's going to be a solid line because there's a line underneath there. And I'm going to shade everything above since this is a greater than symbol. So I would take a color and I would lightly shade above there. Now I'm going to do the bottom one. Now this is in standard form, so I'm going to do the cover-up method. So when I cover up the y, I have x equaling -3. So that means on the x-axis I put a point at -3. Now I'm going to cover up the x, and I get y equaling -3. So on my y-axis I would have a point at -3. There's a line under there, so I'm going to go ahead and draw in a solid line. It is less than, so that means I'm going to shade everything below that line. Notice my two colors overlap in this little corner, so that little triangle is where I would shade in to find their overlap. Alright, it is your turn, so you're going to pause the video and try number 3. So on number 3, the top one is in standard form, so you'd want to do cover-up method. So when I cover up the y, I get 2x equaling 4. So you're going to need to divide by 2 to find the x-intercept. So my x-intercept is at +2. Now I'm going to cover up the x so I can find the y. I automatically get the y-intercept. It's going to be at 4. There is no line underneath there, so I'm going to draw in a dashed line going through those 2 points. This is a less than symbol, so I'm going to shade lightly below that line with a color. Now I'm going to graph the other one. So I have it in slope-intercept, so that means I'm going to put a point at -2. I'm going to go up 1 over 1 and put in a nice solid line, since there's a line underneath there. This is a greater than symbol, so I'm going to shade everything above my line. Where my two colors intersect is where I'm going to darken in with my pencil. So I'm going to come through here and darken in this region over here. So notice that it's just kind of a review of everything we've done so far. It involves a system, it involves graphing, it involves the inequalities, so you have a lot of pieces. I would encourage you though to use those two colors or maybe possibly different shapes or symbols so that you can see where the two pieces intersect.